right, so today we're going to take a look at our dashboard and getting logged into our Canvas courses and some of the basics of what we need to know in order to be successful in these courses. So this is my student dashboard. You can see that I have one course here called Classical Connections. I also have a few other buttons down at the bottom of my screen, calendar, to do, and notifications, and we'll get into those before too long. But I do want to take a look at our course first. So Classical Connections is the very first course that I'm going to look at. I'm at my homepage. You can see our Bitmoji classroom, as well as some of the buttons that will lead you to different parts of this course. Particularly of interest will be the modules that are listed. That will be the different projects, checking your grades, the syllabus, and things of that nature. What we're going to look at very first is Module 1. Module 1 is going to be the very first lesson. So you can see in Module 1 that under each, there's a lesson under each module, and under each lesson they have the objectives for that lesson, content, as well as assignments. The content must be done in order to move on to the assignments. So we'll start off in lesson number 1 with the objectives for lesson 1. So the objectives in lesson 1 is looking at the student information survey, and these are things that you would have gone over in class, but since this is a virtual setting, you can see those objectives virtually. When we hit next, it takes us to the next part of the lesson, which is the content. And here we can see information about all of the instructors, Miss Adkins, Miss Martin, and Miss Bryant. So we finally got to our very first assignment. Our first assignment is a student information survey. I can see here on the screen that it's not worth any points because it does not need to be turned, it doesn't need to be turned in per se, but it has to be done as an assignment. So if I click on the student information survey, it will take me out to the Google form to fill out, and then I can come back here since I will have to finish that. The very next assignment is something that I do need to turn in, and you can see at the top it has it listed as not submitted. This assignment is worth 10 points, and if I scroll down, I can see the directions for turning in this particular assignment. This assignment is the About Me Google slide, and so I need to make sure that I have created a Google slide in a different app, the Google Slides app, and that I have finished that and I am able to submit. Once I have finished, I can click on Submit Assignment, and I can go to File Upload. When I go to File Upload, I have a few different options here. I can take a picture of the assignment, I can look in my library, my files, or I can scan the assignment using the app. Since I have it in Google Drive, I am going to go and look in my files. Now, once you get to locations, you aren't going to see Google Drive here. You have to enable it to make sure that it shows up. So you're going to do that by clicking on the 3 dots at the top of Browse, then clicking on Edit. Then we can see that Google Drive is available in Canvas. We're going to turn that little button on so that then I can see my Google Drive. After I have opened my Google Drive, I can see all of my Google Drive folders, and it makes it much easier to find different assignments. Now, the particular assignment that I'm looking to find is my example slide. I can go to it in my files, or I can click the search button and search for the title of the assignment, which is Example About Me slide. Once I click that, it is going to go ahead and be submitted, and then it tells me that it was successfully submitted, and it gives me a little cheer by throwing up some confetti to tell me that it was successfully submitted. Now, the next thing that we want to do is go in and check our calendar because we need to know what's due and when it's due. So you can see if I clicked on the bottom thing that said calendar, I can go to the different dates and it tells me, number one, if I have something due on that date as indicated by the blue dot, how many things are due on that date, and then it lists them down below, and I can go and I can click on those things to check them out. I can see my calendar in a weekly view or in a monthly view, and I swipe to the right to see the next month, and I swipe to the left to see the previous month. Okay. So for example, if I was to go to this assignment here, this is one of the very first assignments that you'll be doing is working on creating the norms for the 9th grade class. So this is a discussion board, which is a little bit different of an assignment than submitting a file. If I was to reply to this discussion board, then I would have ensured that I have completed this assignment. So the prompt specifically says, in your discussion board, please answer the following questions in complete sentences. When we're asking you to write in complete sentences, we ask that you repeat the question in a statement format. For example, what type of school do you want to be a part of? You would say, I want to be part of a school that blah, blah, blah. So in order to answer the discussion board, I would hit reply. And in the message portion, I would start typing the message that I want to submit to the discussion board. Just that simple. Lastly, I want to look at our to-do list. So if you have certain things that you need to do in order to be successful, you can submit it there. You can check your specific notifications and your notifications. But I want to go back to the dashboard and talk about your grades. So when you're in the dashboard, you can see that there are quite a few different options on the side for you to click on. You can see the modules, discussions, assignments, quizzes, and then you have grades. When you click on grades, as your things are graded, you'll see them updated in the grades section, and you'll be able to see your grade for the course. The other thing to be aware of is your messages. And so you want to make sure that you are able to message your facilitators if necessary. So if you go to people, you should be able to see the teacher account. You can see Catherine Adkins, that's me, I'm the teacher. And in order to send me a message, if you have a question about an assignment, etc., is you just click on the mail in the top corner, and then you can compose your message and send it to me, and I'll get back to you as soon as you can. If you have any other questions about Canvas, please make sure that you ask your facilitators. Thank you for watching.